Hello and welcome back. Today's video is primarily about editing and how to kind of speed up your edit. Video I'm going to be showing today, I edited in about 4 hours or so. Pretty happy with the speed to quality ratio of the video edit. So just wanted to kind of share my process and these 2 tips that will really help shave off some editing time and get your videos done. This is for an editing competition. I found out about the competition the night before the deadline. So I had about 24 hours to get all the assets and edit a video. This was an open-ended editing contest. Footage was provided, suggested music, but you could choose any song that you wanted, essentially. And a quick breakdown of the time that I took to edit. About 2 hours to find music and download all the footage. 3.5 hours for all the cutting and grading and effects. 40 minutes to do some sound design. And that's it. So I tried to boil it down to 2 tips. And the first tip, plan your edit based off of the songs that you choose. So I mean, it kind of varies from project to project. You're not always going to start with finding the songs first, but I tend to try to do that because once I choose a song, I can start to visualize what the video is going to be in terms of effects, aesthetic, aka color tones, the pacing, the general feel of what types of clips that I'll be choosing. In this video, as you can see, the hip hop track in the beginning sounded kind of dark, so a lot of the colors were very close to black and white or desaturated and moody, I guess would be the way to describe it. Now the second tip I think is the most important one, pre-production for post-production. Essentially what it entails is just you kind of scan through all the footage, see what you're working with. In this one I noticed that there's a lot of textures in different environments that I wasn't expecting. I was expecting purely snowboarding footage, but there was a lot of different weather scenarios and a lot of stuff with the truck and driving and taking photos and all this stuff. So once you kind of assess, take inventory of what you got, next comes organizing into manageable chunks. So the way I approach that is break it up into chunks that are digestible for the viewer. They're going to be led through this video, right? Once you figure that out, then you just approach editing in the same manner. You get this section done, you get this section done, you get this section done. What this does is narrow your scope of view when you're looking through all your clips. For example, I'm just focusing on snowboarding for this one section. I can just look at all my footage in thumbnail view and see, okay, this one has snow, this one has snow, and then I can just pick and choose what clips I need. Essentially coming out with some sort of story that makes sense to you. It doesn't necessarily have to be communicated to the viewer. Some people might disagree with that, but for me, I really don't care if the viewer gets it or not. For me, it's just a method of getting this video finished quicker. Alright, so now I'm going to show you how I sectioned this video. So for this video, I actually didn't do this. I just did it all mentally. But if it's a bigger project and a large amount of clips, then I'll probably sit down and actually draw it out like this. So basically, I start off with some sort of brainstorming. For this video, I saw that there was a lot of different weather scenarios, grass, ice, water, and such. And then looking through the footage, I actually found this one quote. And the quote was, waiting for these clouds to go away. So what I really focused on there was just this idea of waiting. And then from waiting, we kind of go into a waiting room. And then from here, went to kind of a TV, or you're on your phone. Maybe you're watching YouTube if there's Wi-Fi, magazines, or I don't know, art. So that was one way of thinking. The other way was noticing from here that the common link was this truck. And immediately I thought that it'd be really nice if I can make the first half about the truck and the second half about the snowboarder. So we have our timeline here, and I knew my song would be something like this, second song would be something like that. Now I was thinking this phase would be waiting, and this phase would be snowboarding. So in the waiting phase, I could put all the destinations, settings. This section I have to show, okay, it's perfect weather. And then now we can begin the snowboarding section of the video. So in terms of clips, that makes it really easy. So I just look at thumbnails and anything with snow, I'm gonna put here. And anything not related to snow is gonna be here. So now I know that there's a quick divide in the middle. But then now, because I'm working on 2 songs, I usually try to think of a way to break it up, or I always leave space in order to break it up. So here will be a transitional space, and then here I was thinking I would just make a hook of some sort. And then here at the end, I'm not entirely sure going in. Now usually a hook is going to be fast cuts. And for fast cuts, I'm thinking like truck shots, Kobe a little bit, maybe show environment. And the break is more of a breather. So if you look at my timeline now, there's that break there, and there's that hook there. You can see that there are a lot of fast cuts here. And then here it kind of spaces out, it becomes slower. And you can see that I do have my song split up like this. So looking at this hook, how I wanted to approach this was the idea of a radio. So because we have 2 main characters, we have the truck and then we have Toby. First clip I wanted to show Toby gets into the truck. and that's where the sound effect of door closing comes in. And then all this section here is Toby playing with the radio, and he's just finding the right station. Now that lets me montage these clips in a very fast manner, and I can overlay a static waveform kind of thing. And that gives me an excuse to kind of build up here and land here. And that's where this second section now can begin. Now this is the correct station, which is the right song. And here we slow down for just a smidgen, and now we're off again. Now if we return to my little brainstorm here, I can take all these elements, the TV, phone, YouTube, magazines, all that stuff, and that's going to influence the stylistic choice I do in weighting. So this section, you can just try to think of it as more of a music video vibe, and that was just very heavily influenced by the music, and it's showing him going to different places, different settings, and just like the effects kind of reflect this aesthetic as well. The next two, this is kind of more of a magazine look, and I tried to show that by showing a lot of white space, kind of picture-in-picture type things, and a lot of black and white. And then here I tried to show the gallery or the, I don't know, exhibit type of feel. And that's why I used the picture-in-picture with a little like caption, close-up of water, and then, I don't know, a field here, just showing different elements and stuff. And after I finished this, I could kind of realize, okay, the transition to snowboarding, because of all these clips of driving, will just be driving up the mountain. Driving up the mountain would then become my transition point. And then finally, I have this kind of main drop here, I believe. Basically, there's some sort of build up, and then here I have quick flashes of him getting ready. And at this point, I knew that I really wanted a big jump sequence to start there. And then just do a lot of cool shit here, and that'll be my video. So we go back, we started just brainstorming, looking at footage, taking note of what's there, and then looking for a common link, which is the truck, and then trying to see how we can divide the video up into snowboarding and wading. And then from wading, we get some visual elements. And then from that, we can begin to imagine our final video. We're gonna have the two songs. This is gonna be snowboarding section, the types of clips that go there. The wading section, the types of clips that go here, and then we're gonna have a break there, have a hook or intro here, think of what we can put there. And then it's a very step-by-step process. First, you just bang this out, come up with a way after you've created this to transition into this next section, and then split up the section into like mini little visual sections, get the break, and then complete this section. And it's just kind of, it's really plug and play at this point. You just find the clips that you need and that you know will fit, and you can ignore a lot of stuff that you don't need. And that's it. I hope this example illustrated that for you as well. I didn't want to just say it. I'm trying to show this tip in use, or like how it manifests, because I think it's easy to say it, but it's hard to actually carry it out. And I think it is a skill that can be learned and practiced. But yeah, I really do attribute these two things to shaving off a lot of time whenever I do edit. It really helps for people like me who go into projects blind and you just kind of shoot what you think feels good, and you have a general idea of what's going on, but you're not entirely sure until you start the edit. But yeah, super beneficial, I think. Hopefully that is what you think as well, and that this applies to you. But let me know if this helps. Let me know if you have any questions, and see you in the next one. Bye.
We're just waiting for this stupid cloud to go away.